Who's coming with me?
It's a short shot. We the source now. Taking over the game, put it on padlock. With a better roster, sick as a plate of lobster. Let them niggas hate, but revenge will never stop us. It's a short shot. We the source now. Taking over the game, put it on padlock. With a better roster, sick as a plate of lobster. Let them niggas hate, but revenge will never stop us. Kill the cancer, you can call me a sick assassin. Cut the chains, you can call me LeBron James. Make a decision, but you never had me in derision. Change the vision, but mark them that cause division. For real? Never in submission like I need permission. Nigga steady telling lies like a politician. Nigga need to cool it down, but we the new edition. Yes. Yeah, the name is the source. Check the reinvention. For real? You think we not prepared for the fallout? Watch us stack this information. Watch
Yo, we back, man. SUC in the building. Sourced up click. Shout out to the SUC, man. Shout out to the Gold Coast Gorillas. Tanks on the ground. To the law and to the testimony, man. We back. We in the building, man. Another powerful preliminary, man, about to go down. But before we do, man, I want to introduce the panel, man. Shout out to the Gold Coast Gorillas, King Seth in the building, man. Talk to us, family. Middleweight champion. Put some respect on his name, man. King Seth, you're on mute. All right, man. Got the founder in the building, Sister Diamond. Talk to us, family.
Shalom, family. How y'all doing out there? I just pray that everybody, every one of you brothers and sisters is having a lovely day.
Come. All praise and glory, man. To the law and to the testimony. Pro Rizzo 1 in the building, man. Talk to us.
Shalom, family. Leo Tov, to the audience, to the panel. Good to be here again. This is another source preliminary, folks. As I always say, Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to these, it's because there's no light in them. Family, tonight we're setting up another good one. These brothers, they here. I hope they give us a good preview of what they're going to be debating. And before we get started, I want to lay down some ground rules, and I hope I'm coming through clearly. Set of rules that we have for our debaters. Jeremiah, you let me know when I can get started.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Loud and clear.
All right. There's about 14 rules. I'll try to speed through it as quickly as I can, and I'll explain any parts that might seem a little bit ambiguous, if there's any at all. Here we go. Source debate rules. All debaters must have a PowerPoint presentation. The lack thereof will result in a loss regardless of the final judgment. The judges can say, hey, you won, but if you don't have a PowerPoint, you automatically lose. I hope that's clear to the debaters. Number 2, all debaters and judges should be picked at least a day prior to the date of the debate. This more deals with source in-house rules than the debaters themselves, but you know, this is one of our rules because there's no bias here. We're not going to try to be in a hurry or rush to.
Yeah, you there? You there, Pro Rizzo? I think we lost you.
Yeah, I'm here, but trying to toggle up. Can I be heard?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm glad you got that on the screen. Let me read it off the screen. I apologize for the inconvenience. Number 3, if any debater leaves during the debate, if you just decide you want to walk off in the middle of your round, at any point of the process of this debate, it will result in an automatic loss. Number 4, each and every debate will be judged based on the information alone, not from bias of religiosity or any personal preference to the debaters. Whether I like you or not, we need to keep it fair, straight across the board, and that's for all judges. Number 5, any judge that shows any sign of bigotry or religious favor or disfavor or partiality of any kind will be disqualified on the spot. That judge will be disqualified from the final judgment of the round. Number 6, all sources must have proper citations, because judges will be checking citations. You want to quote Josephus, fine, give us the citation. We'll go and we'll look at it during the debate or afterwards. Number 7, all judgments must be sent directly to the host prior to each judge giving an explanation for their judgments. When the rounds are over, long story short, Judge A, B, and C gives over their judgments to the host of the show, and that's to keep things in proper order. Number 8, all 3 judges should be from different perspectives and creeds. We don't want all Christians or all Hebrew Israelite judges. The purpose for this is to absolve from personal religious biases. We want to do our best to try to eliminate any biases from judges. Number 9, no shows will result in an automatic loss. That's self-explanatory. Number 10, once the premise is agreed upon during the preliminary, as we have tonight, none of the debaters can alter it. If you want to debate on whether a penny's copper or wooden or not, if that's the premise, that's what we'll stay to. Number 11, all participants, hosts, judges, and debaters must be in the StreamYard at least 45 minutes prior to the actual debate. We don't want to be late. We want to start on time, folks. We want to know you're there. And so that 45-minute window is there to ensure that we can have a good show. Verse 12, preliminaries. They are for hammering out debate topics and agreements. There's no set formats, but it's the whole point of it is to get to, okay, what are we going to debate about? Set up a time and a date and discuss the lengths of the rounds. I hope y'all got that clearly. 13, if a debater cuts off their opponent, the debater will add a minute to the opponent's round for each infraction. If there's a cross-examination and the 2 mics are open, one asks the question, allows the other opponent to respond without cutting them off. You cut them off, you interrupt their point, that is a deduction, and that's penalized against the person who's doing the interruption. We like order. We want to be able to hear the information and hear the answers and the questions and the responses. That's what we're here for. And the last rule, if a debater no shows, you just don't show up, we have a penalty of $25 to the source. And if he or she wants to debate on the platform again, you have to pay a re-entry fee. We do work very hard. A lot of us spend a lot of time putting this together. We're not getting paid for this, but we want you to take this seriously. Please show up to the debate. If you don't and you want to come back, you have to pay a re-entry fee. There's none to join, folks, but there's one when you just don't show up for the debate. And with that, that will conclude all the readings of the rules of the Source Debate League, folks.
All right, man. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Right now, man, I would like to ask both debaters, do you both agree to the rules and regulations that were just laid out?
Khan, yes, sir.
Khan.
Okay, all praise and glory, man. This is very important. Why? Because I done had brothers, we read the rules to them, and then a week or two go by. They say, well, I didn't know nothing about that, brother. We got you on live saying you understand, and we're gonna move forward with that, right? As of late, man, we've been running into a few issues. I believe every back out that we had, the back out occurred right at the day of the debate. So that's unfortunate. and we're trying to limit that because again, people are taking out times for their lives to be judges, and certain promotion that's went. You have the moderators, you have the host, you have the executive board who are all involved in making sure we're able to pull these things off. So it's a collective effort in order for us to be able to pull this thing off, man. Shout out to the firehouse, man. Zion in the building, source up, right? We got the founder, General Yashar in the building. Talk to the people. You're on mute, Doc.
Shalom, family. Oh shit.
Oh, all right, brother. We got the Scholastic Bully, man, Source Debate League champion in the building, man. Talk to us, family. You on mute.
Yup. That's
Yup.
in the building. Source gang, 7 gang. Y'all know what's cracking with us, man. We back, we productive, and we bringing y'all some more heat to the channel. I hope the brothers have a good preliminary. The rules was read, and hey, they agreed to it and they understand. So you guys are without excuse, and we want to see you guys get in that ring and clash like gladiators, the gladiators that you are. With that being stated, I'm not going to hold y'all up, man. Show us what y'all got, man. Let's get it.
All right, man. So without further ado, man, I want the debaters to introduce themselves, man. First up, our brother Yawasap, man. Talk to us, family.
Khan, this is Yawasap, Ban Yawasap. My argument is that the Sabbath should be determined by the count from the new moon. I believe that to be according to the scriptures, and I'm willing to prove it today. I hope y'all get edified from the discussion that we have. And this is the preliminary match, right?
Yeah. This is just the preliminary, man. So put
Okay.
put away some of your hard hitting stuff, man. Just preliminary.
Okay. Khan, I'm ready to talk about it. Hope my opponent is as well. Like I said, I hope y'all get edified.
Yeah, man. We got the Heathen Slayer, man, in the building, man. Talk to us, family.
All right, shalom, peace and blessings all. You already know, back again. My stance is that the Sabbath is well, let me start over that. The is lunar Sabbath is I'm against the lunar Sabbath, but I understand that it's a new moon Sabbath, but it works in conjunction with other Sabbaths. So that's where I'm going. My standpoint is, and I'm gonna prove that as well.
All right, man. So we're gonna kind of let you brothers off the leash a little bit, man. You brothers can engage with one another, question each other, and we'll try to see if we can go ahead and get this debate solidified, man. Brother Yawasap, it's on you.
Khan. All right, so I'd like us to fix our attention on the first time we see the Sabbath commandment. Well, not so much the first time we see it commanded, but the first time we see it the details of it being spoken about in Exodus chapter 20 and verse 10 about when the day is. All right. So if you're at Exodus chapter 20 and verse 10, we see this is the first time we can see when the Sabbath day is. Of course, this ain't the first time they kept it, but we can see that it says, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, right? It says the seventh day, right? Now, it doesn't say Saturday. It doesn't say Friday evening to Saturday evening. It just says the seventh day. So from there, we have to determine, okay, from where do we start our count, right? And so we have an example in 1 Samuel chapter 20, right? In 1 Samuel chapter 20, in verse 24, start from here, it says, so David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat, as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something hath befallen him. He is not clean, surely he is not clean. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, the next day after the new moon, was the second day of the month. So we can conclude from that that the day in which the new moon appears would be considered the first day of the month. And it goes on to say that David's place was empty. So not that I'm not trying to finish that out, but the point I'm trying to make here is that we can see they considered the second day to be after the new moon, after the new moon. So if we're trying to get to the 7-day Sabbath,
You there? Up? Can anybody hear me?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Con, you good?
yeah, I hear
I
you.
don't know. He cut out. He cut out.
All right, man. I'm sure he'll be right back in, man. Heathen Slayer, man, would you like to respond to any of that, man?
Yeah, I do. Because I actually wanted to ask him something pertaining to that, but one thing I would like to say is when it comes to this following the new moon, absent of the weekly Sabbaths and yearly Sabbaths when it's pertaining to our feast days. This is a monthly Sabbath. We were advised of every beginning of the month is a Sabbath. Yeah, we could rest and things like that. We rest like any other Sabbath, but we could also were able to cook on these new moon Sabbaths. That's not something that we were told to follow. Um, and count began counts by. That's something that is not biblical. Um, let's see here. When we get into these ideas of following the a lot of people say lunar Sabbaths. You really don't find that train of thought until you go outside of the Bible into things like the Talmud, okay? And we all know that the Talmud is something that we that the rabbis go off on and stuff like that. So that's really where you come to find this train of thought of the following the lunar Sabbath is not anything supported biblically whatsoever. So my stance is when it comes to the Sabbaths, is plain and clear. Yes, we had new moons, but you have to understand how these works. We know in Genesis chapter 1 that the luminaries were given us for signs and seasons. All right, so we have to keep that understanding in mind when it comes to these new moons. All right. Give me just a sec here.
All right, family. While he's getting that, Yawasap, are you back?
Khan, I've been here the whole time. You can't hear me?
No, you dropped out for a minute there, man. You dropped out for a
It
minute.
was
I'm
my
gonna let the
connection.
brother finish his point. I just wanted to make sure you were still there.
Khan, I'm listening.
Okay. So when it comes to this train of thought here, all right. Um, we want to look at something. Like I said, let's get this train of thought out of the Talmud, which where it originated from, and they say that the two opposing houses agree that there was two houses or two train of thoughts. Okay, the Sabbath keepers, they said, look at the Jewish people themselves. Said first we look at the Talmud, which was written around 200 CE. It's often cited by Jews as historical reference for beliefs held by the Jewish nation before the destruction of the temple. And they said that the Talmud speaks of two different schools of thoughts in the Jewish culture that generally oppose one another in the manner of observances, holding upwards of 300 differences of opinion recorded in the Talmud alone. So this is we had this division um, and amongst our people, but more importantly, when the imposters came in, it furthered this train of thought. Now, that's not something that, like I mentioned before, is based on biblical proof, or was not anything. It was set up by in the Old Testament or anything else. So I'm gonna yield my time right now and give it back to Brother Yawasap.
Khan. All right, brother. So as far as I understand, you didn't really have a problem with anything that I brought out.
Well, what I said in the beginning is when you brought up the new moon, I said yeah, there is a new moon, but it works in
Mhm.
conjunction, with there's it's just not that new moon is the end all be all. But there's other Sabbaths. But what my point is that the new moon is not something that we begin counting from or should use as a reference to count, because it was the weekly Sabbath that was established, and what we use as what we use to calculate prophecies based on these Sabbaths.
All right. So how do you understand First Samuel chapter 20 and verse 27? Because I mean, it's pretty much saying the narrative that is conveying that the day after the new moon was the second day of the month. And I mean, if they're counting from the new moon to determine what day it is, I mean, shouldn't we use that same count to determine when the 7 day Sabbath is, being that the Sabbath is the seventh day? Or like, where do you like the Sabbath is the, I'm gonna let you handle that. Quick. I ain't gonna
Hey,
flood you.
what verse was that?
First Samuel chapter 20 and verse 27.
First Samuel chapter 20, verse 7. All right, you can respond, bro.
All right. I wouldn't say that because there's plenty of verses that point to new moons. Again, there's the luminaries, stars, sun, moon. It's all used for seasons. So yeah, to a certain extent, they had to look at the phases of the moon to determine um, when it was a new month or not. When it's talked about
Hold on, 1 second, bro. 1 second. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. You said First Samuel's 20 and 7?
20 and 27. 27.
Oh, I don't think that's what you want right there, brother. All right, 20 and 27. Salaki. All right, it's on the screen.
All right. All right. So, so I said not necessarily, because when you look at 2027, yeah, it talks about it was the second day of the month, but that is not a definitive or something that was always done. Because when you go up that same chapter in verse 5, First Samuel chapter 20 and verse 5, it says, "And David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit it with the king at meat, but let me go, that I may hide myself in the field the third day at even." So this wasn't anything that was not known. The new moon is simply the beginning of the month. All right.
Right.
So and again, so if that's used to know when the beginning of the month, they'll know when the next day is and things like that. So no, I wouldn't say it is used for like a counter for all the other Sabbaths, so to speak.
Well, the Sabbath that I'm talking about, is it okay for me to respond?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay, the Sabbath that I'm talking about is the 7th-day Sabbath. Right. Initially, when people talk about the lunar Sabbath,
Mhm.
they're talking about that. Like when to determine the 7th-day Sabbath.
Okay.
So if the Sabbath is on the 7th day, like, shouldn't it be the 7th day from the first day of the month?
Yeah, because it never changes. But again, um, that's something that that would have to be looked at to be determined if that is something that actually happens. But just because it's the beginning of the month um, doesn't necessarily equate to when the monthly or the every weekly Sabbath is. Okay, that's something that is not found.
Okay,
That's
so
more.
when
That's what I'm saying is that's more of a doctrine that was created.
okay. All right, so when do you keep your Sabbath? How do you determine?
Friday sundown to Saturday sundown.
Okay. And that's according to what, like, what determines if it's every Friday evening to Saturday evening?
Oh, because it never changes, and the Bible says in the beginning how the pattern began. It was interwoven in creation. The evening and the morning were the first day, right? We all the Sabbath is based and predicated on resting. So
Mhm.
it has to be at that time frame. So we have to keep some things in context when we um, look to say the we should follow the new moon because it's the beginning of the month. Reason why that's problematic is the moon. It's comes on in a regular cycle. All right. Sometimes it comes in short days in a month. So that's why we can't solely rely on the on that new moon.
So you're saying that the Most High, He created these luminaries for us to determine the times, but we shouldn't rely on it?
Not in the way that you're looking at it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
That
so
you're willing to follow it, yeah.
okay. So the new moon determines it determines the beginning of the month, right?
Right.
Just making sure I'm following you. And that's the first day of the month. You would agree with
Right.
that?
Yeah.
But the seventh day of that month isn't the Sabbath.
7 days from that, it would be the Sabbath. Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't really have anything to debate that.
Yo, Yawasap, man, you gotta cut it out, man.
I mean,
Yo,
I don't. That's
all
what
right,
I was
hold up,
thinking I was coming here to do.
hold up, man. Did you understand the question, Heathen Slayer?
Yeah, I understood it.
So let me ask you both of you brothers this question here, man.
Yeah.
Do you see Heathen Slayer, do you see any, have you ever seen any double Sabbaths in the biblical text? And Yawasap, is it possible to have a double Sabbath with the lunar cycle?
So you want me to answer first?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a double Sabbath. Actually, when Christ was being crucified that week, it was 2 Sabbaths.
Okay. Yawasap?
What you mean by double Sabbath is a Sabbath that comes right after another Sabbath, and they're both 7-day weekly Sabbaths?
No, I'm saying the Sabbath, 2 Sabbaths on the same day.
I would say no. You can't have 2 7 days on the same day.
Right. Right. Because you're counting from the new moon. So every month it changes. So you're counting from the new moon. So it'd be impossible to have a double Sabbath. So how do you explain the Sabbath with Christ?
I would say
With
that
the example
the
he just
high,
gave.
yeah, I would say that the high holy day isn't talking about the 7-day weekly Sabbath,
Mm-hmm.
but Sabbath that came after would have been the 7-day weekly Sabbath, like that you see there. Like
Do
because
go ahead.
because because every time you see something being referred to as the Sabbath in the Bible, it's not always talking about the 7-day. It could just be
Right.
talking about a rest day, like a feast day, pretty much.
Are there any feast days that fall at the beginning of the month?
Um, no, not that I'm aware of.
Right. So what was the Sabbath during Christ's time of crucifixion?
Right. So he was betrayed to be crucified the night of the Passover. So that would have meant that pretty much the day he got crucified was the day before the first day of unleavened bread, which is kept as a high holy day, a Sabbath, pretty much, even though it's not the
Mm-hmm.
7th day. But um, Apparently, I mean, the way that the text reads is that after pretty much after he was taken down, um, they kept the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and then, you know, the seventh day Sabbath came after that. Is what I would say.
Okay. Heathen Slayer, would you like to respond?
Yeah. You actually no, not at this time.
Okay, so the brother Yawasap is kind of confused concerning your answer when he asked you
Uh-huh.
how many days after the new moon is the Sabbath, the weekly Sabbath,
Mm-hmm.
and you said 7 days after the new moon.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I mean that's his whole point. If we're counting 7 days after the new moon, then the lunar calendar is right, right? Um, but from your stance, the new moon can fall on any day, right? It
Yeah,
can fall on any
because
day of the week. Would you agree to that, Yawasap?
Yeah, because it's not
Yeah,
determined by the Gregorian calendar.
right. It could fall on any day. It could be a Wednesday, it could be a Tuesday, it could be any day. And so when do you start to count after the new moon?
you started the next day. So, for example, right? Um, let's see if I can. Let's see if I can turn this around. All right, can y'all see this?
Uh, Slightly.
Slightly. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say. So,
Okay, I can see that.
all right, so this is a new boom, right? Okay, so
Con.
this is when Aaron, um, Moses appoints tabernacle and to Aaron and things like that. So this is the second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, seventh day, and then this eighth day would be the Sabbath.
So the Sabbath is on the eighth day.
According to Leviticus 14, verses 1 through 10.
All right, go ahead and bring that up.
Leviticus what?
Leviticus 14, verses 1 through 10.
Can you see that, Yawasap?
Con. I mean, I see it, but I'm still expecting the brother to the brother's interpretation of what he quoted.
Oh, I'm waiting for everybody to get it.
It's on the screen. It's on the screen.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. All right, so we reading down, and the second, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth day are days of confinement. Is this was concerning with the ritual for a leper being cleansed. All right. So on the seventh day, um, the person would have to cut off their hair, beard, and eyebrows, things like that. And when all that is shaved off, they would have to wash, bathe in water, and have to be clean. And on the eighth day, um, he would have to take two male lambs without blemish, all right, and present it before the Most High. So the point here is that if the seventh day count began on any other day except the intermission day, the leper would sometimes have to do his laundry on a Sabbath, which was absolutely forbidden by the Most High's law. So the reason this seventh day is not a Sabbath is because, number one, he couldn't wash his clothes except on the Sabbath, and two, because it is not the eighth day when he showed himself to the priest on the Sabbath, and three, it is not the seventh day after 6 work days. Therefore, this seventh day was actually the 6th work day.
Yeah, man, because I was lost for a minute, brother. God damn. I was like, yo, this brother, what's going on? Know what I'm saying? Hey, brother, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I was kind of shook for a minute. Where the hell is brother going, man? That's a powerful point, Yawasap, man. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, that's
So just to get where you're coming from, just to make sure I'm following you. You're saying that the 7th day wasn't the Sabbath because he had to wash his clothes? Is that what you're saying?
He's saying, as far as what I'm getting from it, I'll let the brother speak for himself. And you correct me if I'm wrong, because if you're counting from the new moon, right? If you start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you get to 7, that's the new moon according to the lunar. But you would be in violation of this if that was the case. So it's showing you that just because the new moon begins the month doesn't necessarily mean that the 7th day of that new month is going to fall on the weekly Shabbat. That's just what I'm getting, but I'll let the brother speak for himself.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at, and with this example, so to speak. And like I said before, go ahead.
So that pretty much the commandment that it's referring to, like the count, is saying that this count is pretty much coming from the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Like
Remember,
at the beginning of the context, it says that this is at the beginning of the month. And it happens down from there.
Yeah, before I gave you the book, chapter, and verse, I showed you the little chart. That's the same thing. I can go ahead and show you again.
I mean, well, like, can you show me that this is the 7th day from the beginning of the month in the Bible? Like, that's what I was kind of pointing towards.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's like if that's not in the context, that's kind of like saying, well, see, like, like someone could say that about someone getting circumcised on the 8th day. They could use it, but who knows when that's the 8th day from what,
Yeah, it's kind of like let's say the new moon comes in on a Wednesday, right? That means the
Yeah.
Sabbath would be the following Wednesday, right? But according to the weekly Sabbath, it wouldn't be the Sabbath until 2 days after that. You understand? So therefore, they could execute this Leviticus. What he bringing out Leviticus? They could actually execute it counting from the new moon. We agree that the new moon starts the beginning of the month.
Right. The day of the month.
Mm-hmm. So if you start counting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all the way back to Wednesday, that's 7 days.
Mm.
And then the 8th day, which will be that Thursday, you could go to the priest at the temple and do what you need to do, or whether it be a Thursday or Wednesday or whatever. On that cycle, showing that there's a difference between the weekly Sabbath and the new moon weekly monthly count. So if I'm counting 30 days or 29 days on a lunar calendar, I'm still going to count 8, 9, 10, 11. You understand? Based upon the month cycle, right? I don't know, man.
So yeah, because what I'm getting from what you're saying, Jeremiah, is a discrepancy there. Because if you say, okay, if you start at Wednesday and count 7 days, well, then you just started in the middle of a 3-day count. So I don't know what's being said here. Is the brother saying that the new moon starts the Sabbath count, so you count 7 days from the new moon? And if so, then how are you going to reconcile for the actual nominal days of the month? Like today's the 7th, right? Let's just say February the 1st was the new moon. The Sabbath would have to be on the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
because it's once you start counting from the new month, once the new month begins and you count 7 days, that doesn't necessarily mean that 7th day is the weekly Shabbat. It's just the 7th day from the beginning of the new month. You just counted 7 days, but it didn't land on Friday or Saturday. So he was still able to execute what was being required of him in Leviticus. You can still do it without violating the weekly Shabbat if, in fact, it is on Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Because you're still going to get to number 7, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the weekly Sabbath. On the
How would he
weekly
be in
Sabbath model.
How would he be in
Go ahead.
violation?
Because you can't do any cleaning on the Sabbath.
So the work that so cleaning your own clothes is servile work?
Well, a man got killed for picking up sticks, brother.
That's because he was outside of his abode.
I see what you're saying. So you saying that you can clean up on the Sabbath?
Yeah. You can run some water and put some clothes in the water on the Sabbath, bro.
Well, in antiquity, it was a lot harder than just doing that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just
We
saying,
know.
like,
So
that's the
so where do you get that that we can do serve our work on the Sabbath?
I'm saying that's not servile work. Washing clothes ain't servile work if you ain't doing it for somebody else. If you just washing your own clothes in your crib, in your house.
Hey, Yawasap, I got a question for you right here. This is Isaiah 28. Isaiah 58. Let me scroll down here. 58, 13.
Right,
What's this mean right here? 58, 13. All right. It's on the screen, family. It says, if thou turn away thy foot, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy
Mhm.
own pleasure on my holy day, and calling the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words.
What's my thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Well, first,
Can you follow this by washing clothes on the Sabbath? Will you be in aligned with this 58:13?
I would say yeah, especially if you're commanded to wash your clothes on that day, and from the perspective that you're a leper and you're under this ceremonial practice and it requires you to do it on the seventh day, then you do it on the seventh day. And the second, because you can see that the priesthood was required to do sacrifices on certain rest days or days you would consider holy convocations, a rest day. And
Okay.
the other thing is the context of Isaiah 58 is talking about the Day of Atonement, which is considered a Sabbath. And
Isaiah
the day
58
of
is talking about the Day of Atonement.
Isaiah 58, right?
Yeah, 58:13.
Yes, the context of the whole chapter is talking about the Day of Atonement, the day of where you're supposed to afflict yourself. So of course you're not supposed to seek your own pleasure on the Day of Atonement.
So you couldn't wash
Um,
clothes on the Day of Atonement.
if the law requires you to do it, yeah. On the seventh, if the law requires you to do that, and you're going through that ceremonial practice as a leper, and it falls on the Day of Atonement to do that, then yeah, you still got to do it. You just that don't mean that just means just do that, but don't you know that's not seeking your own pleasure if you're doing it to keep the Most High's commandment.
All right, Heathen Slayer, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, that's not biblical because scripture actually says opposite of that. Um, we have guidelines to rest. So again, I think it was alluded to earlier that a gentleman was stoned for gathering on the Sabbath. So
Hmm.
when we look at the keys that were given to us how to operate on the Sabbath, it was never anything that we did on our own accord. And if we did do something like I believe it was brought like the priesthood, they did sacrifices. See, that's towards the Most High. That's something that is not a part of the actual guidelines that we were given how to conduct ourselves on the Sabbath.
Yeah. Okay. Like, so you're saying what about what I said was incorrect? Exactly.
All right, I'll go and I'll go and show you right now. Give me just a second. Uh, So Exodus chapter 20, in verses 8 through 11. And it says,
All right.
remember, it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Most High. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. So there's not anything that we're told outside of that. That's a guideline. That there's no wiggle room. There's no if, ands, or buts. And when brother brought out Isaiah 58, 13 and 14, that goes back to this right here. And it also goes into Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 2 as well. Isaiah 56 and 2 says, blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. So how would you pollute the Sabbath, and why would it say and keepeth his hand from doing any evil?
How was you polluted?
Yeah,
By doing servile work, buying and selling, going outside of your place, not for the purpose of, having a holy convocation, but just to go out, period.
right,
For
right,
any
right. So, right, yeah. So that's the
starting the
whole
fire.
thing. I'm sorry, what?
I said starting the fire as well.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Um, and these kind of go in tandem. And that's what kind of I didn't agree with you said.
You didn't agree with what I said about Isaiah 58?
Yeah,
All right, so this is I want to get Leviticus 23. Leviticus 23. Um, I want to start at verse 26, right?
all right.
I'm going to read down. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. You shall do no work in the same day, for it is a day of atonement to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. But whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. You shall do no manner of work, it shall be a statute forever, throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and you shall afflict your souls. In the 9th day of the month at even, from even unto even, shall you celebrate your Sabbath. So the point I was making before was that the context of Isaiah 58, if you start from the beginning, is talking about the Day of Atonement, because that the afflicting that we're supposed to be doing to ourselves is talking about that fast, the fast of that day. And so if you're fasting, of course, you're not seeking your own pleasure. in that Sabbath. But if it's a pleasure for you to eat food, right? Are you not going to eat food on the 7-day weekly Sabbath?
No, I don't think that's the right context of that.
Well, I mean, we could go there and just read it. Isaiah 58.
All right.
This is Isaiah 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, forsook not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure and exact all your labors. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
we see that it's talking about the day of affliction, and the day of affliction is considered a Sabbath. And that's why you hear about the Sabbath being mentioned in verse 13 and 14. Because the context of the verse is going into how, you know, the rebuke of Israel's day of affliction, the day of atonement.
Okay. I'll have to look into that one a little bit more. But let's see here. Let's see here. The new moves. Now, what else? What else?
Hey, well, look, man, we don't want to burden you brothers to bring everything out right now, man. We just want to try to get that substantiated. The title of the debate is what we need. Date and time is what we need, and I'm gonna need photographs of you brothers so I can make the flight.
Con. Now,
Yes.
real quick though, this brother did admit that the Sabbath is on the 7th day of the month. I just want y'all to know that.
All right, man. So are we moving forward with this debate or what? What's up, Yawasap?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready.
We can move forward.
Okay. All right. Anything you want to add, General Yashar, Jashu, Pro Rizzo?
Nope. I think this is going to be an interesting debate. That's what I think. I think somebody is in for some disappointment. That's what I believe. All right. We on, folks. This is good. Now we just need a time.
Time and date. Time and date. General Yashar, any words? Brother Jashu.
Yeah, I mean, I just want the brothers to be sure what they're actually debating, because the rules were read to you prior to your engagement tonight. There's no altering the premise from this day forth. So once you guys say we agree to debate, whatever your debate topic is, then that's it. Ain't no changing it. So I want that to be understood and noted. Brother Yawasap, and who's the other brother that's debating him? Is it True Jew? Who's debating him? Heathen Slayer.
Yeah.
Both of you brothers agree to whatever topic it is. Let us know what the topic is so I can go ahead and send the topic to Yawasap so he can make the flyer. I mean, not Yawasap, the CEO so he can make the flyer. And also we need the time and date from both parties.
Well, somebody said this is no debate; it's a landslide, man. So somebody is gonna catch a body.
Yep, that's what I said. There's a big old hole open on the chessboard right now.
What's the actual title, fellas?
If I'm not mistaken, is the weekly Sabbath determined by the lunar cycle?
All right. And what's a good date for both of you brothers to have this discussion?
Anytime is good for me.
Same here.
All right, how much time you guys need to prep for this? Because you do need to make a presentation. You need a week prep, 2 weeks prep. What's going on? Talk to me.
Maybe a week.
Con, it ain't gonna take that long for me. Probably about 2-3 days.
All right.
Doesn't-
So what about next Saturday at 7?
Fine with me.
Are you guys Eastern Standard Time or Central Standard Time?
I'm on Eastern.
I'm on Central.
Central. So is 7 Eastern Standard Time fine with you, brothers?
Yeah.
All right. So Yawasap versus Heathen Slayer, right?
Con.
And the topic is, does the lunar Sabbath dictate? Does the lunar Sabbath dictate the weekly Sabbath? Am I quoting you correctly, brother?
No.
Yeah. Does the lunar cycle dictate the weekly Sabbath?
Yeah, that's what I got. And that's what both of you brothers are agreeing to tonight.
Yes.
All right. And next Saturday is I'm looking at the calendar, is the 13th. So the 13th, 2021, 7 p.m. EST. So that's CST. That's 6 p.m. CST for any brothers that's under Central Standard Time. And if you guys don't have any objections, this is what's going to be promoted, and this is what we're going to be looking forward to next Saturday.
Okay. All right.
All right, man. We appreciate you brothers coming on, man. Looking forward to this one. The PowerPoint presentation, man, and I encourage you brothers to try to find some history to substantiate your point, man. That's gonna go far with the judges. Not just a scriptural argument. You understand? So I'm excited to see what your brother's gonna put together, man. Got another one in the bag, man.
Con.
Yeah, I want to say Heathen Slayer, he's been on here before, so he's starting to become a seasoned debater, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I can't wait till next Saturday to see what you guys can do. We see Heathen Slayer. The last time I believe he debated on the sunrise versus sunset.
Yeah, he was the first draw in Source Debate League history.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I'm glad to see this brother already back in the ring. He's letting us know he here to stay, brother. You know what I'm saying? So he making his name known.
I gotta eat.
Talking heavy. Brother talking heavy. He said, Jeremiah, you ain't bringing him enough plates, brother.
Yeah, man. Well, man, if y'all have seen the messages I got from Yawasap, he was on my helmet too about getting in the ring, man. So, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, man.
Come
Yeah, man. So bring your game face, man. Gird your loins and get ready to battle next Saturday at 7 p.m. EST, man. That's when it's all going down. CEO gonna produce the flyer, and we will be promoting this all week. And you guys already know what's expected of you. And you guys have already agreed to the rules. So, hey, man, with no further ado, if anybody got any more comments, it's already set in stone, man.
That's it, man. That's it, man. Don't forget to send me the pictures, man, so I can go ahead and get that thing underway tonight.
Con, got you, con.
Yeah, I will do. Will do.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
man. Much love to you, brothers, man. We appreciate you all watching. I know some of you Negroes can't wait to get back to this weak ass NFL game, man. So I'll talk to you all soon, man. Sourced up click, man. SUC 7 gang. We out of here.
All right, y'all stay blessed, man.
Con.